Everyone. We are going live with one of my favorite raw vegan friends, Lisa of Raw Food Romance. We are both in the Vibrant Health Bundle, which is taking place now until the 29th of September. And this bundle has 36 resources on raw vegan living. Yeah, and some of my favorite books are in there. Yay, Lisa is here. So let's just accept her request for her to join. Hello, Asamat. View request. Go. Hello, The Body Shop Malaysia. Yeah, so we are going live with Lisa of Raw Food Romance. Hey, hi, Lisa.
Hello!
Good.
I miss you!
Aww.
It was so awesome when you were staying with us. We had so much fun with you guys.
Oh yeah, we miss you too. Now we just watch your IG stories and your IG lives and go like, oh, I know that kitchen. Oh, we've been in that truck.
Oh, that's so awesome. I know, yeah, we had such a blast. We ate some good food. That was so much fun.
Oh, wow, we already have one question that says, what lip gloss are you wearing?
Oh, I just have I don't even know it's like an old one. The label's kind of worn away. I
Right.
don't remember what brand it is, but just a lip gloss. Vegan, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So today I thought maybe we'll talk about because I feel like we both have quite similar tastes in raw food, as in like we both love big huge giant salads, and then we both love like dressings that have a lot of flavor and spices in them, so maybe we'll talk a bit about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that topic. Yeah, because I'm so big, just like you, so big on variety
Yeah.
and flavor too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love the flavor. I find that with raw food, it's so much easier to play with flavor as well because, everything has a different, how do you word it? Like, it's not the same as cooking with the flavors, right? It's more pronounced and you have to
Yes.
use different amounts to get like, that edge that you're looking for. So
Yes.
yeah, we love to explore different flavors. And I was talking to Sky,
Mhm.
who's also part of the
Mhm.
bundle. So guys, grab the bundle. Um, so you can get all of our content and ebooks and everything. But I was talking with Sky and I said, we're a really unique species because we are creative at heart. We like to create, we like to play around, and we like to explore and figure things out and discover stuff. So I feel personally like having all the variety and the different spices and all of that is expressing our creativity. And
Mm.
it's like, it's playing with our food. And I mean, it's so much fun to explore and try different ingredients and see what they do and how they react and what you can make with them, like different consistencies and different textures. So it's so much fun. I just have a blast,
Yeah, I think it was interesting because the idea of eating diverse foods. I remember following one of my friends, and she's half, is she half Japanese or she's full Japanese? I think she's full Japanese, but she mentioned something about like having at least like 15 ingredients in your meal, each meal, and then she was doing a yeah, she was recording it, documenting it on her Instagram, and she had like the hashtag and all that. And I thought like, oh, that's interesting. And I tried doing that. I was like, yeah, I started counting like, oh, do I have 15 ingredients in this meal? And that kind of thing. And yeah, and then I remember at one time you actually listed out like how many kinds of yeah, vegetables and fruits and everything that you eat in a week, and it was like what, 80 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
80. And yeah, it's so interesting when people seem, you know, I feel like if you want to get a good dressing, you need more ingredients. And I think
Yes.
that I think that a lot of people, when they see a recipe with a lot of ingredients, they feel overwhelmed or they get scared that there's so many ingredients because the regular world will say, you know, society, we're taught that we need to read labels, and if there's a huge
Mm.
long list of ingredients, it's bad, right?
Ah,
So,
okay, okay, okay. That's where it
right,
came
you know,
from.
so when you see this huge long list of ingredients, you're like, oh, I shouldn't be eating that because it should only have two or three to be
Oh,
simple and all of this. And I think when the ingredients are simple, you can have many of them and it's not bad, right? So we're talking like, you know, like lemon juice and
yeah,
curry powder and coconut and miso, and
yeah,
you know, they're all real ingredients. So you can have
yes.
a lot of them and it's not a bad thing. Like we shouldn't shy away from having recipes that have a lot of ingredients. If they're all natural ingredients,
Mm,
why not? You
exactly.
know? Because you need to get those specific angles and different
Yeah.
edges to get a really full, robust dressing, or you know, a salad that has like different flavors that you're trying to put it all together into a great package. Because when I first went raw, I would have like, you know, lemon juice and
Mm,
avocado on my salad. And that was fine, but it didn't hit the spot, you know, like I would be missing certain things and I'd be like, oh, well, I kind of want like more spice or more this or more that or some herbs and mix them with this, to have like all the different taste buds active when you're eating. It's so much more fulfilling that way.
yeah, I also think it's because we eat such big, huge salads, like, we have our big, huge bowls and all that. So I feel like the dressings need to have more flavor in it. It's not like, some people like they eat like, I don't know, 1/8 of what we eat or quarter of what we eat. So maybe like, just like lemon juice or lime and some avocado would work. But because like I said, we like I put in like 300 grams of greens in, and then I still have like, I'll put fresh jackfruit. I love putting fruit in as well. I put mandarin oranges, and then I'll put my ferments, and then I'll have my Brazil nuts, and then, and then I have my sprouts, and you have your microgreens. So if there's so, yeah, there's so much ingredients in the salad itself, I feel like the dressing needs to, yeah, also have like more spices and more robust flavor. And I love how you always have a lot of dates in the dressing, because I yeah initially I was like some of the other people, like, oh, why are there so many dates? What is that, like 5 dates? But when I put it in and I blend it out, I'm like, oh my god, this tastes so good. And when you pour it all over your greens and all the things that go in the salad, it's like, oh, this makes sense. Because your salad is not just like lettuce, tomato, and cucumbers, right? There's
Yeah,
so much more to it as well.
exactly.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel so satisfied. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I know. When I first started making the date-based dressings, I did it because I was with my ex-partner at the time, and we wanted to make kind of like a vinaigrette style,
Mm-hmm.
but we wanted it to be oil-free. At least I wanted it to be oil-free. So I was trying to figure out a way to make a vinaigrette that didn't have oil in it. And I noticed when I blended dates, it would be kind of like, not like oil, because it's not like oil, but it kind of carried the flavors, and it also like was viscous, kind of like an oil,
Yeah, yeah.
an oil. Yeah. So I made the French dressing, which was the 5 dates, the lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, garlic, and smoked paprika. And when I blended that up with a little more water, like a cup of water, it was thin like a vinaigrette, and
Mm.
it was so good. I remember sitting at the computer eating it, like, I cannot believe that this dressing is this dressing. And some people will ask, they'll be like, well, why do you use the dates? And top reasons would be, number one, to get enough
Mm-hmm.
calories in. Because like you said, if your salad, it's just greens, maybe you're getting like 100 calories or whatever in just the
Yeah.
greens. So in order to feel satiated and to get enough calories, the dates are big calorie pushers, right? Like you can have 300 calories in 5 dates. So it can really add a lot to your salad and satiate and give you energy and everything. But another reason is, or well, not really a reason, but people ask why there's dates and they're scared to eat it because they think it's going to be too sweet. And it is
Mm,
sweet. Dates are sweet, but when you combine them with the lemon juice and the apple cider vinegar and the garlic, or if you put a little like tahini in there or some other spices, it really kind of balances the sweetness out. And a lot of, like, if you go to the grocery store and you take any salad dressing off the
mhm.
shelf, most of them have sugar in them because the sweetness balances out the other flavors. So it's a more
Yeah.
full bodied dressing. And it's not necessarily sweet because I find the date based dressings more savory than sweet personally. But you know, they are a little sweet for
I
some
think,
people.
yeah, I think it balances it out actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we had someone saying, is it Melissa, my girl, y'all, I love her. Yeah, talking about food. Yay. And then I think someone said something about the wrap. Let me see if I think someone
Oh, I
just
think Tessa maybe said, I just finished eating half of the everything bagel wrap. Yum, yum.
yeah. And in the bundle, you actually have Tales from the Tailgate ebook, and you have some wrap recipes there, some new wrap recipes there as well, right?
Yes, yes. So the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, which is in the Vibrant Health bundle. So everybody go to the link in our bios, go grab that bundle if you want to get all the goodies, including Yin's Korean
Korean
barbecue
barbecue.
course, which is amazing, by the way. Um, uh, so yeah, the Tales from the Tailgate ebook we wrote to help people learn how we travel as raw vegans. So we're traveling, we're talking camping, hiking, backpacking, air travel, resort stays, like hotel stuff. So we tried to go into great detail about everything that we do as raw vegans when we're traveling. And we have over 100 recipes in there, and each recipe has kind of like a little story behind it
Oh
because all the
yeah.
recipes are all meals that we've made while traveling. So, you know, if we can make them, you can make them. And we added a bunch of wraps to there. The everything bagel wrap is in there. But the two new wraps that we added was the hot harissa desert wrap, which is amazing. Chris Kendall ate two of those wraps when he made them for dinner. I was like, whoa. He really loaded them up. And then the garden party zucchini wrap. It's an onion-free wrap for people who are looking for an onion-free one. That's in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, so you're gonna want to grab that. It's a good one.
Yeah, I made that the onion free one, and we went for like a very easy kiddie hike in KL, and we took it up and ate it at the peak. No, we went up to the peak, and then we wanted to eat it at the peak, but then because that the place that we were hiking is kind of like it's kind of curated hiking, so they're actually like security guards, and they only let you in for a certain number of hours, so they only let you in for 2 hours. So by the time I think it's 1.5 hours, they tell you to go down. So we
Oh,
were like, I was going to film it, and then they're like, go down, and I'm like, what?
oh,
But you know what, we actually walked down halfway, and then when they stopped following us, we were like, okay, we're just gonna sit here and eat our wraps anyway, and then no one disturbed us, so that was good.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's nice that there is a onion free, because I think a lot of people in Malaysia, the Buddhists, a lot of them don't eat alliums and onions and all that. So yeah, it's good that you actually have yeah, onion free options as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really good one. It's a super tasty garden one. It's a good one for fall harvest too, because like the zucchini and you know the other
Ah,
vegetables in there are so good for the fall. Um, yeah. So I
yeah.
see someone asking any recommendations for taco template.
Ah.
None in your Amazon store. That's because they don't exist. The sad thing is the taco templates, the company that made them years ago went out of business. They don't make them anymore. So there isn't any taco templates. What I recommend, so if people have the taco ebook, which in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, if you buy the bundle from the link in our bios, There is taco in there because we do take tacos when we travel. It's one of our top meals that we like to take for camping. What we recommend is when you blend up the batter, so the taco tostadas have to be an eighth of an inch thin. That's the key to get them to be crunchy and like break apart, kind of like a corn chip. So once you blend the batter, you use 1/4 cup, exactly 1/4 cup of the batter
Oh,
onto the tray. And then if you spread that 6 inches round, it'll naturally be an eighth of an inch thin. So
oh, okay.
yeah, 1/4 cup, spread it 6 inches round, and it should be the proper thickness to make the tostada shells. So that's what I say to do without a template. And you know, if you're not perfect, like making it a perfect circle, at the 10-hour mark, when you flip them, you can actually, they're pliable, so you could actually cut them into perfect circles at that point. So yeah. Mm.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize you had taco recipes in the um yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, treble taco bar filling and sauces. Ah, nice.
Yeah, the tacos are in there.
Because I always looked at your tacos ebook, so I never like. Oh, I looked at Nate's dude food. I'm actually going to be making the taco meat today and the nacho chips as well from Dude Food, which is also in the Vibrant Health bundle that is taking place from now until the 29th of September. If those who just joined, it's 36 resources on raw vegan living. You know, my Korean barbecue course is in there. Oh, Lisa, what else do you have in the what are your contributions to the bundle? Maybe you can tell.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have six between
Ooh.
Nate and I. So I know we always really like to put a lot of things in a bundle if we can. So we contributed the Tales from the Tailgate ebook that we talked about. Dude Food, Nate gave his Dude Food book. I contributed my Checkmate Your Cravings video course, which has like so many downloadable PDFs and videos to help deal with cravings. We also contributed Nate's Microgreens growing video course. So he teaches how to grow microgreens of all different types, sprouts, and how to ferment. So that's a really great course. You get that if you buy the bundle. And his kitchen essentials course, which teaches you like how to set up a raw vegan kitchen, like what kind of tools you need and what might be helpful for you. And also Building a Healthy Relationship with Food, which is a book that I put a lot of my heart into, and not a lot of people know that I have that book. But it's not a recipe book; it's an informational ebook, and it's really talks about our relationship with food, about letting go of perfectionism, letting go of fear, choosing because you want to choose instead of feeling obligated or like you have to. So it's more of a mental kind of mindset shift kind of a book. And you know, it can be hard to read if you're really attached to certain like food rules or diet
Mm.
culture. But it's just kind of my thoughts on the subject and how to break free from possibly diet culture because it's so prevalent in our society, right?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I don't I never really felt like I had to diet because so when you started talking about diet culture, I was like, oh, what's that? Because I didn't really experience that, but yeah, so I read your book and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I've seen these things happening, but um I didn't have a label for it. Yeah. So I didn't know how to express it until I realized that, oh, okay. That is diet culture. And yeah, maybe you want to talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, diet culture is, you know, it's all the food rules, right? Like,
Mm,
you know, or body
yeah.
image. That's another one too, where a lot of people can have body dysmorphia on either spectrum, right? And even if you are like, you know, an appropriate weight, you can still have body dysmorphia by like not loving how what size you are or your
Mm,
shape or your age even, right? You know, like we're so stuck in this culture where we value youth and
yeah.
thinness or fitness or what have you. And yes, we want to live our best life and we want to look our best. And those are all okay things to want. But when we start to put that pressure on ourselves and when we start to compare ourselves to others and when we start putting all these rules on our food and, we start choosing things out of fear instead of out of true desire, right? Like, a lot of people will say a raw vegan diet is an eating disorder, but it's not, because it doesn't matter what diet you're on. You can have an eating disorder on any diet because it's
Yeah.
your relationship with food that's the issue, not the food itself. So yeah, it goes really deep into detail about all of that kind of stuff. And talking about these topics it's sensitive for sure. And like anything with the mindset and our core beliefs can feel uncomfortable when we talk about them. But it is important to look at certain things that we believe about our food and what we believe about ourselves, and to come at it from a more loving perspective. Like we're doing things because we love ourselves, and we're doing it because we love ourselves at any age, and we love ourselves at any weight, and we love ourselves in any way. And so because we love ourselves, then we choose to put loving foods into ourselves, right? So it's a good reflection of how much we have, self-love and working on that. So
Yeah, because I know like some people talk about how like cooked food is toxic, and then I was like, but I'm high raw, so when I eat when I travel, I eat out with my friends, or when I'm cooking food for my partner who is not raw, but he will eat raw when he's with Lisa and Nate.
yeah. I love it.
It's so funny because I told him, like, after a trip, I look at him, I'm like, do you know you just had like 3 complete days of fully raw? And he was like, oh yeah, but it tasted so good.
Oh, I love that. That's a true testament. Tell him thank you. We love that.
I'm like, you won't eat like my salads, but you eat his. I mean, he eats my salads, but not the big amounts. You see, he'll
Yeah.
be like, okay.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It's
But
so funny.
yeah,
He's like,
that's awesome. Oh, Ash is in here. You're awesome. That's so cool. But yeah, like you were saying about the cooked food being toxic, that's another thing that, a lot of people get stuck in that
yeah.
idea that it is toxic or poisonous, but just the belief itself can be harmful, right? Because it's not about like being scared of cooked food. It's more just like we just don't want it. And so we don't eat it because we feel better on raw and
Yeah.
that's what we want to eat. But it's not evil or toxic, or if you have a little bit, you're not going to die, and always choosing, if you're going to do cooked food, choose things that are whole food and
Yes.
prepared well, and all this kind of stuff. So it's not like, you're not eating ultra processed food. You're not
Yeah.
eating junk food
Yeah.
or, stuff fried in oil and salty, like crazy processed sugars and everything. So, there's like
Yeah.
a difference there in kind of like how those foods react in your body, and choosing what feels best without the fear and without the judgment and without feeling worried about other things that you're eating. So yeah, it's a challenging one, because I know like a lot of people say that, and I'm like, if you're going to eat cooked food, it's not like the end of the world, but you're going to choose what resonates most with you. And when you do choose raw, if you feel good on raw, then keep choosing raw
Yeah.
and move with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel amazing on raw, which is why I have I really love my raw foods, because there's so much energy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel so good. And yeah, I can I poop very easily.
I know that's the best.
I was trying to figure out like, how do I say it in a delicate way? And I'm like, never mind.
No, we all poo, it's a normal, natural human thing. I love it.
Ah, it's so funny. Oh yeah, yesterday, I made the raw focaccia. I
Oh
don't know how to
yeah,
pronounce the
focaccia, focaccia,
focaccia. So I made
focaccia.
yeah, so I made the focaccia bread from focaccia from
Kate,
Kate
yeah,
Dumas, yeah,
she's got some cool
ebook.
recipes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called what? Bread spreads and dips. Yeah, and then because I wanted us to eat because he likes like different flavors or also sometimes it's like he feels like sometimes raw food if it's just one thing it's a bit too intense.
Mhm.
So yesterday I was trying to make like mini pizzas for him. So one I put like natto and then other one I put like I think I put what did I put? Oh, I put your cheese. I made one of your cheeses from the Tales from the Tailgate ebook. That's the one with the sunflower,
Oh
no
yes,
sunflower, sun-dried
sun-dried
tomato.
tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. Yes.
There was sun-dried tomatoes. I put the cheese on top, and then I put some olives. And then the third one, I used the sauce from my Korean barbecue course, which is in the bundle. I used the gochujang sauce, and then I put the barbecue mushrooms on top of it. So he was eating three. He was like, "Ooh, pizza! Ooh," you know. And then the third one, slice, I think I walked away because I wanted to get some cucumbers, right? So I went into the kitchen to get cucumbers. Then I came back to the dining table. He was like, I'm waiting for you. This one is so good. I need to wait for you to see me eat it. And I was like, oh, because I was a bit afraid that he might find it too intense because my Korean barbecue flavors are quite strong. But he was like, he loved that. So I'm like,
Oh,
yay.
that's awesome. I know your Korean barbecue
And
is
we
amazing.
made that sauce with the burgers when we came over to your place.
Yes,
So
that sauce is so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, anyone watching has to make the Korean barbecue. I made all of the recipes in
yes, you did.
there. Yeah, I made all of them except the kimchi because I already had kimchi. So, but I made everything else and had my own little Korean barbecue feast, and it was so delicious. So, yeah, everyone's got to get the bundle so you can make that too. There's so many delicious things in the bundle for everybody. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Us says true story.
story. True story. I know. Yeah, when food tastes good, it's like it's everything. We enjoy life so much more. The food is good. And it's funny when some people say like I need real food. Like what is real food? Because
Yeah, I
raw
feel
food
like
is real
we're
food.
we're eating real
Yeah.
food.
Right? I know it is real food what we're eating here. We're we're just, we're playing around with different ways to prepare and it's not like a bad thing. Like I made a post one time of my raw soup, right? And you
Mm.
blend the soup base in the blender and it warms up a little bit and
Yeah,
people were complaining. They're like, why don't you just heat it up on the stove? It'd be easier. And I'm like, actually, it's faster to make a raw soup because you just blend it in the
yes,
blender and it's warm, like
yeah,
it's so much faster.
yeah.
And then I had so many people who were like, just eat real food. I'm like, this is real food. This is real food that I'm eating. I don't know what you think real food is, but tomatoes are a real food. Like you can eat them. So it's funny when people say that because it's like, you know.
Yeah. I like the other day because I'm hosting the Raw Food Worldwide meetup in KL this weekend and then so yeah that's why I'm making the nachos yeah I'm making the nachos because I'm going to make it for the meetup and then someone asked like what should you bring what should they bring so I said well if you've never had raw food before just bring some fruit and then Az was like brownies and then and then the person said like, "Oh, it's hard to make." And in my head, I was thinking like, "No, actually, raw vegan brownies are easier to make than baked brownies."
Yep,
Because
totally.
you just put everything into the food processor and then like process it and then after that and then you can already eat it immediately unless you firm it up. And there is a brownie recipe in the Dude Food ebook which I have made quite a number of times and I really like that one as well. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good one. Yeah, Nate has an amazing recipe for that in his Dude Food ebook. So yeah, that's a good one for
yeah,
sure. Like we like
yeah,
making that one a lot.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So okay, I think we're going to wrap it up because I need to go and make my
Yes,
breakfast. It's
you
9:30 now.
do.
Yeah. And but is there anything yeah, any last things that you want to say before we close? Because
I always like to close with, let's say, the thing that popped into my head first was to think of your future self. So think of the you from tomorrow or the you from later today. What will that person want you to do right now? Right? Like, for example, the future you is going to be so happy that you made your breakfast, right? The future me is going to be so grateful that I went to bed early tonight, or that I prepared dressings for our camping trip that we're doing this weekend. And
yes,
yeah, just to think about your future self. Think about how grateful you're going to be. And I like to say food preparation and food prep is your past self thinking of your future self, or your present self thinking of your future self. And it's also your future self being grateful to your past self, right? So we have to think about where we're going to go and plan out our day, schedule things in, and get it done so that when you do come to that time, you're like, oh, I'm so grateful that I made the wraps, or that I made the tacos, or like for you going to the meetup, right? It's like, I'm so grateful that I took the time to make the thing to take with me. And it really is all about planning and preparing. And when you plan and schedule it in, it gets a lot easier. So yeah, I'd like to end with that.
oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, and everybody, the Vibrant Health Bundle is happening now until the 29th of September. It's 40, only 49 US dollars for uh resources and content worth almost 1,500 US dollars. And if you are looking to embrace a raw vegan lifestyle, or if you just want to add in more raw stuff into your life, I think this is a really good bundle. Because like if you had listened to Lisa say earlier, even just her and Nate's contributions and my contributions are already enough to start you off on your raw vegan journey. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if anyone's watching the replay, just leave the questions below and we will answer you. But for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. And Lisa, take care.
Yes, I love you. I miss you. Oh, one day we'll come visit you, hopefully.
Yes, yes, and maybe one day we'll see you in Asia.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Okay,
All
then. All right. Take care.
right,
Bye,
have a good
everyone.
breakfast.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
You.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.